guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm trying to get away from like the streaks of sun, so I apologize if they're still there. I'll be moving around, so hopefully it's not too bad. So in my last video I talked about how Hurricane Matthew was coming through the state, and that's why I was in a different area with different lighting and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give you guys an update and say that it went a lot better than we anticipated, and a lot better than we were sort of told, which is fine. We're incredibly fortunate that it didn't happen as bad as we predicted, or as bad as the news was saying and things like that. But unfortunately Haiti was hit very badly by the hurricane. Upwards of 800 people have died. I think it's almost near to 900 people that have passed away due to the hurricane, and they have asked that if you want to donate, that you do so specifically or directly to some organizations that are established in Haiti, as opposed to going through places like the Red Cross. So I will put down below in the description bar all of the places that they've suggested that if you do feel it in your heart to donate, that you do so in those places, just because they are in Haiti. They are run by people, by their people, and they have a proven track record with actually doing what they say they will with the money that's donated and things like that. So I'll put all of those down below, and if you know anybody that was affected by the hurricane, I'm truly sorry. It was very bad, and there are some forecasts that show that it could be looping around. I haven't checked today. I haven't checked probably since like yesterday afternoon, but a lot of forecasts are showing it that it might loop back around, so it doesn't seem to be done just yet, but hopefully something will happen and it'll just disappear or something. So I want to talk today about the things that I read in the month of September. I didn't read as much as I wanted to, but I feel like I say that every month, and yet I don't do anything to read more. But there was a Diversithon happened during the month of September, so that was very fun, and I have a vlog where I sort of talk about the things that I read and how it was going, and it was a day-by-day thing. So if you want to check that out, I'll link that down below as well. And so yeah, I'll do little mini reviews of the books that I read. I do want to get into doing full reviews, but they intimidate me. They're so scary, especially because I watch some of these reviews, and they're so awesome and so eloquent, and the thoughts are just so clearly, everything is so clearly thought out and stated, and I feel like I just ramble. Like, I literally just sit here and I ramble about books. So I mean, if you guys want to see me ramble about books, I'll do those, but I feel like I need to sit down and really write what I want to say, but then I'm afraid that it'll come off looking too stiff. I don't know. I guess you guys can let me know what you think. I guess I should try and go in order, right? The first book that I read was probably my favorite book of the month, and very quickly becoming my favorite series, my favorite fantasy series, like besides Harry Potter, ever. The sun is being really annoying. I'm so sorry, but if I don't record right now, I just won't have time. So it's The Invasion of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, and it is the second book in the Queen of the Tearling series, which is an adult fantasy. This is a great book if you love young adult but are trying to go into adult fantasy, because she's like 19. So I mean, technically it's adult fantasy, but you still see those remnants of like a little bit of YA in there. This book and this series is so amazing. It pulls you in. It's so relevant. It's such a strong story, and I love it. And the third book is coming out in the month of November, so I'll probably wait until I read all 3 of them and then do like a series review. But I do have a written review of the first book, which I'll link down below. It was in my vlog a couple of months back when I first read it. And then I'll hold off on doing a review on this one until I've read the other one. I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy. If not, then I might just do like the first 3 and then I'll do the rest as they come. But it's really good. Please read it. Do yourself a favor and read it. It's so good. Then I read Anyas Ghost by Vera Broskol. And this is about a girl who whose family immigrated here from Russia. And so it goes, you get to see. One thing that I really enjoyed about it is how she was able to implement really important things that a lot of people might not consider about immigrant families. How hard they, especially the kids and the youth in the family, try to assimilate, and how hard parents try to get their kids to assimilate, because obviously they want their kids to be accepted into society. They don't want them to sort of stand out and possibly face being bullied or made fun of or things like that. So you see Anya sort of struggle with her identity from this sort of balance between who she's trying to be outside of the house and who she is with her mom and her brother, and what the things that she eats and the language and her name. And so you see that internal struggle in her, and that is something that a lot of individuals have to go through when they come to a new country where they don't know the culture as well as they do their own, obviously. And so it's that internal struggle of, I want to assimilate but I don't want to forget who I am, and how much do I do of both. And it's I was surprised that was so that she was able to implement that in the story, or not that she was able to, but that she did. And but it was very pleasantly surprised. I think it was very good. So Anya sort of comes across this ghost who doesn't seem to leave her. She falls into this hole, and there's a dead body there that's been there for forever. And the ghost, she's able to communicate with the body's ghost. Is it the body's ghost? So she's able to communicate with the ghost, and the ghost seems really friendly. And so, you know, she sort of befriends her, and then the ghost won't leave her alone. And it's Anya trying to get Anya through the friendship that she has with the ghost. She's able to look inside and see the things, see the person that she's become, see the things that she still needs to work on, and the things that she needs to fix. And I love that idea that the things that you love the most and the people that you think are your best friends can sort of not only turn on you, but showcase back to you your worst features, and allow you use that to grow and to move past all of these bad things that they're reflecting back to you. And so you see all of this in the graphic novel, and it's very short. You can definitely read it in one sitting, but it has a lot of dimensions, and there's a lot of depth to it that I wasn't anticipating when I went into it. And so I very much enjoyed it. And she goes from, the author is able to take the story and sort of flip it and go from something that was very lighthearted into something that's a lot creepier and darker, and it's done very seamlessly. And I do wish that second half had lasted a little bit longer, but overall I really enjoyed this one, and I definitely recommend it. I don't remember the rating I gave it, maybe 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, but it was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. After that, Diversithon began, and the first book that I read was Labyrinth Lost by Soraya Cordova. And I'm sure you guys saw this one if you watched my Diversithon TBR. And this is about a family of brujas who live in New York, in the Bronx, Brooklyn. In Brooklyn. And they, Alex does not want the powers that she has. And so she tries to get rid of her powers in the ceremony that essentially, I guess it would be like the bruja's equivalent of like a quinceañera or a Sweet 16, where you're sort of coming into your own and your family is giving you their blessing. Well, the bruja's version of this, she tries to get rid of her powers, and in doing so accidentally gets rid of her family. And so it's about her going on a journey to get her family back, and obviously getting to know herself and her power, and learning to accept who she is and what she was born as. And there's LGBT elements in this, and that those are awesome. It was I loved it. I could have loved it a lot more though, and here's why. I love how much the culture was embedded into the story, and it's so rich, and I love that I was able to just see so many awesome things of my own culture and of cultures that I experience every day through friends and family. I could see them reflected in the book, and I thought that was amazing, and I thought the story itself was great. I love the characters. I just think it was too short. It was too little of everything, I feel like. And it's that might be my own thing. I'm slowly getting away from loving fast-paced, quick books. I want something to be very developed, and I want something to take its time to really bring us into the story and show us who these characters are. And I think that it was too short for that to really happen as much as I would have liked it. So that's sort of my only beef with it, is that I just think it was too simple, too little of everything that we saw. I wanted more. I wanted it to be longer. I wanted it to be more developed. I wanted to see more of this world and of this family and character development, and I wanted more of the relationships and the friendships and everything. And so for that, I didn't give it a 5 out of 5, but it was still really good, and I still really recommend it, and I will continue with the story because I did really enjoy it. Like I said, I just wish I had more. Then the last book that I finished in the month of September was the autobiography of Malcolm X, and I have such a hard time sort of talking about autobiographies because this is someone's life. You know, they're telling you their life, and so you can't, I guess you can talk about how they chose to describe that to you, maybe how it's written, but besides that, what can you really say besides you like actually judging them as a person? I absolutely loved it. I admired him before, and I admire him more so now that I've read his autobiography, and I see really everything that he went through, and you see his thoughts on the page, and he's like desperately trying to get you to understand everything that he went through and the time and everything like that. So it's incredibly poignant, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had issues with the opinions he had of women, and that could be the time and his upbringing, obviously. I think had he been given time to actually live his life and he hadn't been murdered, that those might have changed even more, because you do see a change towards the end. But he doesn't really trust women, and there's this sort of sentiment that, and I despise this of just any person or religion or anything, this sort of idea that women are these frail vases that must be coddled and taken care of. No, screw that, so I don't like that. I don't like that ideology, that idea. There are women that are strong, there are women that are weak, there are just like there are men that are like, your gender doesn't automatically give you some sort of strength, or nor does it take that away. So I didn't like that part of it. I still love everything about it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and it just allows you to understand him more, and it allows you to reflect back on maybe things that you knew at the time and maybe see it in a slightly different light. It's funny because you know how it's gonna end, he's assassinated, but I didn't want it to happen. I'm getting to the end and I'm like, what, can it just be different? Can you just not die? So that really still hits you. You get in the epilogue is essentially where you read about his death and things like that, because he is not telling that to you because he has passed. But before you get to that part, or is it before you get to that? But in the epilogue, regardless, somewhere in the epilogue, Alex Haley tells you about the process that they went through to write the book, and about how he was able to get Malcolm X to realize that even though towards the end he feels different, he may have felt differently about things that he might have said or done in the beginning of the story, that he should leave that as it was when he told it to Alex Haley, because it will give people a better understanding of his way of thinking and how he changed and how he was able to develop as he's finding things out, and as he's growing, and as he's meeting people, and as he goes to Mecca and he finds out things about the head of the Nation of Islam. So I so appreciated that all of those things were left in there, and that no one sort of went back and fixed his opinions of these people in the beginning, because that would have altered it would have altered the way that you perceive it and the things that you are reading. And so I think that made it even better, in my opinion, that you are able to get this person's life, and you see, you sort of go with them, you go alongside them as they find things out and as they change their way of thinking. And I mean, we all have. If I hadn't changed my way of thinking, I would still be like this super judgy. Sometimes I hate to think back about the person that I used to be, because you don't know, you're ignorant, and so you can be judgy and you can be like a bleh person, and I was. And so like, but I wouldn't want, if I were able to ever tell my story to someone, I don't want to change that, because I want them to see the progression of my way of thinking. And I am so happy that we get to see that through the book. And so I definitely recommend it. It's an amazing read. It took me forever. I don't know why. Probably just because it's an autobiography and I feel like I really have to take everything in. I'm like super chilling, by the way. I'm like leaning back on my bookcase. I hope this video is okay, because I feel like it's gonna be weird. But anyway, it's very ranty. But yeah, so I definitely recommend it. It's very good. I probably want to go back and read more autobiographies of people of this time, because the 60s, the 50s through like the 70s are like my favorite time in history. I think it's so pivotal, and so I want to read more and really get like these people's inner thoughts and what they were thinking and what they were going through at the time, not what you get in a textbook, because I feel like that's, third party, very edited and whatnot. So I feel like it's much more raw when you read it in a way like this. So I recommend it for sure. Ouch. I began 2 books in the month of September, but I did not finish them, and they were All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, which this is about 2 young kids who are both going through very tough situations, and it's about how they meet and sort of through their friendship and their relationship start to pull each other from these situations and save each other, or lead through the friendship. Each individual person is able to start to move on and things like that. I've not finished it yet. So far it's okay. I talked a little bit about this in my TBR. It's okay. It's not my favorite. It's alright. Then I didn't put the jacket on this because I'm reading it and it's annoying to put it back on to record and then take it back off. So I'm reading Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I am 421 pages into it. I will finish this today for sure. If it kills me, I will finish this today. I'm loving this. I am loving this so much. I am so sad that this is the last book in the duology. Like, I love this one. I like crying. I love this one so much more than the Grisha trilogy. The Grisha trilogy I loved and it's great, but this is like My love. I just, oh god, I love it so much. I want more. I definitely want more. It's like, it's that thing where you want to get to the end and you want to find out what happens, but you don't, because you don't want it to end. You don't want to say goodbye to these amazing characters. Sam from Thoughts on Tomes said in one of her videos that she heard that there might be more stories in this world, so like in the Grisha verse. And I really hope so, because I love the world and I love the characters, but I want more of these. Like, I want to know more about Kaz and Inej and Nina and Jesper. Oh, they're just so amazing. They're my babies. But yes, so I'll finish this one today, and I'm sure it'll be with 5 and 5 stars, unless the last like 100 and so pages are bleh, bleh, but I doubt they will be, because it's Lee Vertigo and she's amazing. But yeah, that's what I read in the month of September. Not too much, unfortunately, but it wasn't a bad month. I enjoyed a lot of what I read. So what did you guys read in the month of September? Please let me know down below. Please let me know if you read any of these books and what you thought about them. I would love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, until next time, bye guys.